I got
Smart.
so much fucking epic content. What, like I flipped the fucking power dynamic. Like I'm checking people on the phone. Like oh, sorry. Go ahead. We're live.
No. Like, tell me, because like that is that is a better introduction than me
Oh
going, "Hey
man.
guys, we're starting," right?
Oh, so yeah, so like just a couple sales calls. This one I just recorded. My team was watching live. Like I had it on Zoom. That's how I've been recording all my meetings. I'm just doing phone calls, but this guy was like, "It's like, what if it doesn't work?" I was like, "I'm not gonna let that happen." He's like, "Better work." He's like, I'll put my money where my mouth is." I was like, "But on the flip side, it's like if this does do every damn thing it says, you're gonna preach the high heavens about me." He's like, "All right, deal." Like confidence. But like somebody else the other day was like, "It's like there's no way in hell I'm paying you that much money." What is After he said it sounded good, told him the price. And then like I was like, hold up, I got a little attitude. I was like, here's what it does. And I was like, if you don't think that's worth the price, that's fine. But I'm gonna go up on price. When you come back to me, it's not gonna be there. And he's like, okay, I'm sold. Like I got all this stuff on camera, like on video. Like I'm not even making this stuff up. Insane.
The guy that we're now charging $30K a month to, and probably will charge $80,000 a month to by the end of the year. That one client, $1 million a year, right?
Wow.
The same attitude I had with him. He was like, look, I'm down to buy. I get it. What if this doesn't work? I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to sit in your office? Like, this is the best chance you've got. You saw it. You know what's in it. Like, you don't have to buy, but you and I both know this program is going to work. And the next go around, our prices are going to double. So what would you feel comfortable with?
Yep.
And that, like, that pushback, which is almost like it's the opposite of super salesy.
Mhm.
It's like, look, man, this is the car. This is a Lamborghini. What do you want to do with it? Is almost like affirming they're making the right decision.
Yeah, it's weird because like my toughest clients this week, like I said, I've had 20 plus sales calls just this week. Still got 15 left, but the toughest ones, the ones that I ended up getting an attitude, was like, no, like like, and I love this program. And then they felt that, like after I check them, like they're like, they sign up, and it's like they appreciate that, they understand. I was like, look, and like I'm cursing in these things, like I'm not trying to, but it's like, look. It's like, okay, you're holding me to this just so you know, I'm gonna be on your ass. If your team ain't doing the shit I need, like I'm gonna be on their ass. Like, and I'm gonna tell you that it's like, and I set the expectation. It's a whole different ball game. Like
that's like the craziest part of, I think, the journey that I've been on and you've been on. In the beginning, you feel like your client, you're at service, that they know better, you can do everything for them. Now, yeah. Like, no, I know what happens. You're going to like it. And if it doesn't work, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And I've discovered with my past chunk of sales calls, when I take that approach, the client will ensure their success. When I've taken the other approach, when that dynamic is the other way, that doubt of like, if it doesn't work, it's on you, will seep in. They'll do less work. And all of a sudden, they're fat at a gym that they never go to and complain while they're still overweight. And so maybe, like we had this sketched out with the intro. Most people already know your intro. Like we've done like 3 or 4 interviews. They know about like you grew up in Houston, you lost it all. They know about the frustrations and challenges and the rapper career that you're still kind of hoping for, right? Right. Let's skip all of that to the past 3 months or so, because right before we pushed live, you're like, I'm probably going to close $200,000. What was it, this month?
Oh no, like within the next week or so. Like I'm already at like 38 collected, 6 following back up this week. I'll do over 50K this week, and yeah, over the course of the next week or two, as long as my team can handle it. That's the only thing I fear. Like we're a little lean right now, but as long as we can handle it, yeah, I got it.
Do you find that at like a certain point, the numbers don't become real anymore? It becomes the game or the fight or the win or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like we stopped caring about the money. Like first 2 sales we got on the belt. It's like exciting. Oh my god! Like people actually like this concept's proven. Now it's like, fuck. I hope we can facilitate this. Like I'm getting Stripe payments today, like 9K collected that have already paid. Like it's just like, dude, it's unreal. Like Stripe deposit this morning, like $9,000. Yesterday, $14,000. Like, and it's not really about the money now. Now it's about, we got to facilitate this. We got to deliver, and the money's the last thing I'm not even thinking about.
Do you remember when like your first dollar came in, like that first client, you're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And now like you and I have both experienced in like 10, 15, 20K days. And we're like, well, that's how it's supposed to be, buddy.
Right. It's crazy. I still remember February 13th. Like, I know you can go back to any interview. It's the same day. February 13th, 2019, I got 297 for a funnel build out, and I cried. Like it just showed me I can make money on the internet. Next day I closed my first client, $2,500 a month retainer client, same thing. And it's just like, I don't know, the first like probably 20 transactions, it still didn't feel real to me. And then then it became like normal. And then it's like, I don't feel right if we ain't doing at least 3K a day. Like you don't like something's wrong. Like
something broke. What do you mean people ain't paying me money?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mechanism that you're using to generate these inquiries, because like there's like 4 or 5 major ways of like getting clients, right? There's like cold email, Facebook ads, stuff like that. But for the most part, that category is like one-on-one, or like one client, one prospect, one sales call at a time, right? Mm-hmm. It sounds like you've gone F that wholesale style, which is what we talked about in your Power Partner Masterclass X number of months ago. And now you're still using that mechanism to generate a massive number of sales calls in dollars. Is that right?
Oh, that saved us. Yeah, we'll probably get into some stuff that people don't know about us on this interview. Real quick, I just want to let you guys know, I'm about to send an invoice from the call. Like I was a little late to Jeff's interview. I had another sales call, closed them. A very aggressive one. I got this recording, so you guys will probably see it. But I'm going to send this invoice right now. I don't know if it's going to come back like while we're on here, but I'm really hoping the 6K comes through while we're on this call today. So let me just go ahead and send this real quick.
Wouldn't that be crazy cool if you get paid those dollars on the interview?
That's what I'm hoping for, man. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, man. All right, cool. I'll just make sure I sent the right invoice. And can I get a second just to send them a message?
Dude, of course.
All right.
Fucking love it. Dude, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I'm in the middle of making money and selling shit. That's so awesome. That's so absolutely awesome. In the meantime, though, for everybody watching, let me know the city and the state that you're watching from. If you've seen Jeff Lopez before, if you've been watching, if you saw his Power Partner Masterclass, if you've seen his post in this group. Jeff and I have been working together for years now. And like every single agency journey, it's always ups and downs, and being able to navigate that correctly is a key common attribute of people who are consistently successful. They recognize it's going to be like this, and so they just have to like rising the bar again and again. So for everybody watching, let me know the city state you're watching from. And if there's any questions in the meantime, feel free to ask them and things like that. Jason Croft says he's from Colorado Springs and loved your masterclass.
Hey, appreciate that.
And the cool part, Jeff Lopez, is that you're still doing the stuff you talked about.
Still practicing what I'm preaching.
Yep.
Just in bigger ways, very, very big ways.
So let's talk about like, because you and I haven't talked in like 3 or 4 months. So what's been in Jeff Lopez's life the past 3 or 4 months? Because like my business, like your business, COVID hit and you're like, what now? And then COVID unhit and you're like, what now? So like, talk to me about what's going on the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, let me give you we'll go a little further back. So yeah, COVID hit, we got through that pretty good. To be honest, got comfortable. We were at the top of the game in our industry, like to the point where I knew everybody was copying our stuff. And, now it's like, that's normal. I'm not even upset about it. Like I expect that, like if you're not running a good system, nobody's copying you, it sucks. So, so I'm glad people are, but we got comfortable. We stopped innovating to the point where we had some competitors come in, and actually we had a competitor take our biggest power partner just kind of behind our back and started poaching all our clients, like, and not all, but to the point where it's like, oh shit, we kind of got too comfortable. Now it's like we're trying to like backpedal and like play catch up. And it was stressful, man. Like it was stressful. Like we had the conversations about, do we need to let people go, et cetera, et cetera. And you guys know, like we've been producing a lot like the last couple of years. So like that didn't even feel real to me, like losing as much as we did. But it kind of made us think like, man, this shit's too competitive. Like, should we just, scrap this whole thing and like start from scratch in another industry? So like, I got money saved up. It's like, we'll be fine. But like, is this what we want to go through? Like where we're building something, people rip it off. We got to keep fighting tooth and nail to keep clients. And like, we almost gave it all up and went just completely something different. But then we sat down, like I was talking to our team, was like, man, this is all we know. Like, we are the best. We set this trend. We know it. We know people are copying us. Like now it's like, it's personal to me now. It's like, oh, they come in thinking they could do this. Like now it's like, oh, I'm gonna make them pay. Like, let's show them who's the best. And we started buckling down. We built a program from scratch within the last 4 months. And like I said, we weren't making money. I was actually paying some payroll out of pocket for a while. and just so we could focus on this program. And I didn't want to take one-off jobs and try to accommodate. Like, I was like, let's buckle down, let's do this. Here's the time frame you guys got. Otherwise, y'all gonna need to look for some different jobs. So if you want to be a part of this, cool. If not, no hard feelings, but this is what we're gonna have to do. So we buckled down. We made the program of all programs. And it really stemmed from us, like, okay, here's what people are doing. Like, we're always great at, like, when they do something, we do something different. We always try to, like, you come out a little bit better. But now we're like, I don't want to run ads anymore. Like, I don't want to be an ads company where people are like, like you said at the beginning, like, doctor's up here, you're down here, no matter what you do. If it's great, oh, you're the best person in the world. As soon as it ain't producing, you're a piece of man. What's going on? I'm going to switch. I'm going to cut you guys. I'm going somewhere else. And those are clients that have been with us for years, and we're getting those calls. And it's like, damn, like, easy.
I've made you $1 million in 6 months, and you're threatening over 2 bad months.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I actually cussed out a client and dropped 3 of them in a day. Like, I dropped them because they had called and they was getting all, I was like, look, and I even said, like, these are the words I use, and I'm not proud of it, but it's like, man, I don't even need y'all little bitch ass money that, like, all this, like, and I was like, man, I'm gonna drop all 3 of you. Like, and like I did. And I did that on live in one of my groups, and I didn't know they were in my group. They saw, like, all this shit I was talking and stuff. And they actually called me. They were like upset, like, we didn't mean to offend you, this, that, whatever. And they stayed with me.
Yeah.
But like, I got a lot of calls like that from, clients, the iOS thing.
Yeah.
We have made it through that. But it's like when results dip for any reason, they're going to get onto you. And like I said, we do a great job. My team does a great job, but we got tired of, like, getting those calls. Like, we're the greatest people in the world when you're making money, but when you're not, don't talk to me like I'm just some
real fast
street. Like, we ain't. So we sat down, we imagined, like, we literally was like, all right, start this by, like, what if we did this? And it's like, think outside of the box. Like, what if we are our clients' best friends? What if we were their biggest cheerleaders? Like, what if, we did all these things, and then what if we put a huge price tag on that? So, like, instead of doing, trying to service 50 clients a month to make $100,000 a month, what if we're only working with, 5 that are paying us $20,000 a month? Yep. And we started reimagining what that looks like. And now it's like, every 20 clients is $1 million for us throughout the course of a year. Let me not stretch things, but and that's what we're looking for. And we're setting expectations, like, even better. It's like, look, we won't even work with you if you don't have these things. And if you won't answer my questions, we're done on the call. Like, like, I don't need your, like, and like, now we've started treating it like that. Clients are starting to feel a little more privileged to work with us. And it just creates, like, a better dynamic. Like, when we set that tone from the beginning, like, look, we know our shit. You're not changing anything. If you can abide by this and we can work together, cool. If not, we're not the company for you. Have fun doing what you're doing.
Do you think that's languaging that a manufacturer or someone deserving of $100,000 payment, or someone who makes their machines, is that the language that they're using? Like, this is the machine, this is what it does, make your decision. Like, is that why you think it resonates so well? Or is that just the natural evolution of agency and client relationships?
To be honest, I think it's both. Post-pandemic, everybody's going digital, which means there's an opportunity for a lot more digital marketers, which means there's a lot more opportunity for digital marketers to burn clients. So they're just not appreciating the type of stuff that we do because everybody's doing it now. But you brought up a good point. And like, I like the Apple battery pack, for example. Just bought one of these, and I was looking on the box, like, I'm a nerd. Like, I'm looking, like, how many milliamps is it and stuff. And it's like, it don't say anything. It's just like, it's battery pack. It only comes in one color. And it's like, they're like, bitch, you gonna buy it? You need juice? All right, here. Like, it's like, it don't matter the milliamps. They don't care about the details. Like, you're gonna buy it regardless.
That's like the funniest part about all this. Like, how many times have you genuinely cared about how much horsepower your car has or how many gigahertz your computer has? None. Maybe for like a half second. But at no time is your serious purchasing decision a function of the number of leads or a function the number of milliamps. You have a need. This is how it works. You're going to buy it or not, end of discussion. And that type of narrative makes that future buyer feel like, all right, well, I got to make a decision, and there's other people. I don't want to lose this opportunity. And is that what you're experiencing on your sales calls?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, it's like you just kind of said, it's like, this is an opportunity. Like, this isn't, and we reimagine this thing from the ground up. Like, not one single thing that we're doing is anybody else doing in this program. And we made sure that, because like I said, I'm tired of competing with these people. We looked at the strengths of my team and personality is like first and foremost. Like our team, like me, Lisa, Yvette, you know, these people have so much personality, and they're the ones dealing with clients. So we really leaned into that, and we know that, you know, like nobody else can get the personality from this. So what can we do? So now it's like live training, group setting, but like group chats, we took away 90% of automations too, to make it more of a personal feel. So it's a way different opportunity for our clients, and they're sensing that. And like I said, we're letting them know, man, like, hey, you know, you got to make a decision real quick while we're on the phone. If not, you know, I'll send you an email, but I got 12 other calls. So the sooner you get in, the sooner, you know, we can get you going, but it's no pressure. And they're like, oh, let me get in. Like,
I don't want to lose it. All right. So before I go into like how you're doing and what you're doing, let's go back to how I think it was your power partner. Like who took that biz, right? Like what broke? Where was it? Like just natural competition? Was it something went wrong? Did you guys fall asleep on the job? Like what made everything go like this?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to attribute like anything like it wasn't our fault in some degree. We got too comfortable. We're like, we're at the top of our game. We know everybody's copying us. We're the best. Like we know it, but there's people out there that are hungry with you. And like I was that person at one point. And like I said, when you're making tons of money, like on autopilot, like you kind of start to lose that hunger a little bit. And when we did that, there was somebody out there that was just as hungry as us. He's, you know, repackaging his stuff a little different than we do, and presenting that opportunity, and it's getting traction. And then of course, when we're not even, our power partner situation with the one of our biggest power partners was a little different, to the point where, you know, there was some trust issues on both sides. Like we didn't know, like, you know, are you working with somebody else also? And so it got to the point where it's like, well, let's just turn off their ads. Like, you know, that they, you know, and we did. And then that happened, and somebody slid in there real quick to, you know, help them out. And that relationship built so fast. And then before we know it, you know, we're dropping clients every day, and we're just like, oh my God, like, you know, what do we do? So now we're just kind of, you know, I wouldn't say combating that anymore. Now we're playing chess, and we got the game locked down right now.
You know, the craziest part about command and control in that client relationship or the client conversation is you can say, here's what we do. Here are the results. I'm going to ask you some questions to see if you're a good fit. And then you're going to make a decision. Is that okay? And I did that on my most recent sales call. And I was in the back of the chair, just like this. I wasn't like super aggressive. I wasn't trying to sell them. I didn't do a webinar. I didn't be like the total value as in if you act now and here's your bonuses. I had no promises, no guarantees, nothing like that. I literally said like, hey, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Here's the program we're running. Yes or no. And he's happier because I didn't sell him.
Right. Get it. Man, yesterday, so I recorded this. So I had a sales call, and my team was watching again. And they got to the point, like, you know, I get this question all the time from agency owners. Do you offer a guarantee? Lady was like, oh yeah. And so what kind of, you guys offer a guarantee? I'm like, nope. Like, so like it was like awkward. They just went right to the next question. Like, give you false expectations, because every area is different, but you'll see that number creep up quite a bit.
Do you have a guaranteed minimum?
Contract. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. There you go.
Like, it's just like I said, it's like the power dynamic. We switched it in our favor. Like I said, and not in a bad way. Like, man, we just put a lot of groundwork in to like make sure we didn't fall into the, you know, what happened last time. We built something, we got comfortable. Now it's like, we built something so good. We made sure every little aspect, every nook and cranny has been looked at, every bolt's been tightened. And it's like, I know our program's good. We don't need to offer a guarantee. Like,
it's so interesting how like the market has switched back, because when I was on the up and up, like guarantees were starting to become a conversation. The guarantee was like, look, we're going to make you happy. And if you don't, I'm going to pay your next management bill until you do. And that was okay. And then it kind of started climbing up and up and up to a point where like I was at the dental conference, and there were dentists coming up showing me the ad saying they will give us $100,000 additional revenue in 90 days, or they will pay us 10 grand. I'm like, do you really believe that? And they're like, nope, not one bit. And it's become this like huge hyperbole to where like that is now the new signal of, I'm just going to mess with you and I'm going to play with you. I'm going to call you out when it fails. And when I say there's no guarantee, they're like, I like that. It's nuts how it's swung back in the other direction. And what I want to know now is like you coined the term, not just power partner, but God effing Zilla. Okay.
Hey, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And Godzilla is like the king of power partners, right? So like,
Mhm.
how did you hijack? How did
Oh,
you
man.
get your Godzilla power partner? Like, what was that relationship like? Because one power partner is worth $1 million effing dollars. No other ifs,
Mhm.
ands, or buts. So how did you find your power partner?
Okay, so the one in particular that you're talking about, the Godzilla power partner, and I forget, it was somebody from the master class that said, "How do you get a Godzilla power partner?" So I got to give them credit. I forget, no, the name starts with the A. I cannot remember who it is, but whoever came up with that term, yes, I love that term.
Nice.
So what happened is, like I said, we reimagined the client customer experience. We basically slid in there because we have a media team and they needed some training assets for now that we got FDA clearance on the device. So they needed a training university. So I was like, hey, we'll do that for you. We got this, so we did that. But in doing that, I started on my own, started going and interviewing a ton of these owners of the systems, and I control all these assets. So like I'm asking them questions because I knew that it was going to come. Like I knew that, since my power partner had left and was like working with this other person and all the existing owners of this device were influenced by her, I was like, guys, we got to go outside. We got to start just selling machines because when we sell the machine, we get the client and we get a commission. So I started going on my own, started interviewing just all these previous clients to the point where I got just all this stuff. And I'm asking questions that I know are going to be great in the campaigns for selling devices. And then so I went to them and was like, hey, here's what I built. Here's what I got. They're like, can I have it? I'm like, nope. I was like, we can get a contract, and I'm telling them all the stuff that I'm doing to make sure that the owners are successful. Man, I got like their branding, custom logos, boxes. I mean, I got damn custom cowbells with their logos on it. To the point where like we're getting clients, seeing 50, 100K a month from this.
Yeah.
And like they've never seen that before. They've never seen these people. And like, we're getting clients to 2 and 3 devices and they're like, what in the hell are you doing? And like, I knew that I had like the power, not in a bad way, because I love this company. The guys are great. They've been dicked around by a lot of people that come in and make promises. So I just did the groundwork to where it came as like, hey, here's what I got, not what I can do. Let me just show you what I got. It's funny. I got that recording too. There's a point in that recording where they're like, yeah, I think we like what we hear. So, figure out what you want to do, what you think you're going to charge us. And I was like, oh, I know what I want. And they're like, look at each other. I was like, okay, look here. I want commission on every single sale. You guys are paying all the hard costs. And I was like, and it's like I'm comfortable on a Zoom. And my team needs some new camera equipment, especially if you want these assets looking extra good. It's like our cameras are good now, but there's one I have my eye on. It's about $10,000. I don't want to pay for it. If you guys can pay for that for me. And they're just like, damn, okay. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to create like a creative space here for you. So you guys can have your own creative space in our headquarters when you come. Yeah. And like, I was like, okay, let's do that. But it was just like, I already knew what I want. I already knew it was going to take us to the next level for what we were doing for them. And like, I already had all this stuff. So I had a better business plan for their business than them. No offense, but they know that. And I'm telling them like, look, we're going to do an extra $10 million next year. I guarantee you, here's the plan. And look, we've already got this in motion. Like it's working. And they're like, oh my God, like it's just a whole different ball game. Like I said, it's one thing to, hey, Jeff, man, I can do this for you. I can do this for you. It's like, no, look at what I'm doing. Like I'm going to do it with or without you. Like, let's go. So
it sounds like the old term of like, you can't push a ship, but you can steer it. And it sounds like what you've tried to do is you built your ship and you're moving it and you're seeing people and like, look, man, this train is moving. This boat is on the way. This plane is flying. Do you want to take advantage of this limited opportunity? Do you want to jump on board? And I think that's a mistake that newer agency owners make, which is they're trying to have like client-driven relationships when they should have business building activities and then ask clients to come on board. I am building out the ultimate real estate live transfer program. I'm building out the single best way to get prepaid chiropractor patients, paying first and calling you second. Do you want to try this out now? That narrative is so much better than, hey, can I help you with a thing? Hey, what are you doing? Can I run an audit? Like the quality of this conversation is so much more purposeful and less pointed at your experience and your deficiencies compared to like this conversation. And it sounds like that's exactly what you did, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. It's a whole different ball game. Like I said, when you're not promising things, trying to give them what you think they want. And it's like, like I found all my clients' pain points. I found that, the device that they were selling, lot of these owners weren't doing well with it. And, so when I'm interviewing these people, one, I'm learning what they don't like about it. I'm learning why they're struggling, and I'm fixing that as I go. And then, of course, I'm building all these extra assets. And then when I'm interviewing the people that are crushing it, it's like, now I have assets that I'm putting out to other docs that don't have this yet. And they're signing up, they're buying them. And it's just like, what are you doing? It's working. It's like,
so if I understand correctly, like you had client-driven conversations first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got people on the phone, had a 15, 20-minute conversation, went through a series of questions. And then from there you pulled, I guess it's like customer research, right? And Absolutely. Then like you figured out their pain points, their problems, their needs, wants, fears, and goals. I bet you're asking questions like, what sucks right now? Or what are you spending money on that you hate? Or what type of questions were you asking these people to where they give you the keys to their wallet? What does that look like for you?
Oh, absolutely. Like, man, I could take this back to like the when I joined your Inner Circle program. Like I thought these questions were kind of funny on the script. What have you tried? What's working? What didn't work? But that's the questions you need to be asking. Like, what didn't work is the best thing. What don't you like is the best thing. Because like, hey, what do you like? I like $1 million. They're gonna tell you unicorns and rainbows, but you tell them what they don't like, man, you pushing in a wound, and they're like, oh, I hate this. God, if I could just fix this, like. You get way more out of them, like digging deep. And I think those are the conversations a lot of agency owners don't like to have. They don't like to talk about the bad or the ugly. But when you start talking about that stuff, that's the stuff that's on their mind most. Like nobody's thinking about the stuff that's good. Like I said, when we were making a ton of money, we weren't even thinking about it. But when people started stealing our clients, shit, that was the first thing on my mind when I woke up.
So I think the analogy is like, you don't go to a doctor because everything is working, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Something's fucking wrong, right?
Yeah.
And most times an agency relationship or agency conversation is not because, hey, I made $1 billion last year. That's not what happens, right? They're like, I've got certain pain points, certain problems. And if you don't know those pains and you don't know those problems, you have to go so effing over the edge to make a sale that it feels dishonest. Mm-hmm. But what you did is you spent 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks having client interviews? How many interviews were you doing over time?
2 months. 2 months
worth. 2 months worth of client interviews, deeply understood their language, their problems, their pain points, what they hate, their dream scenarios, the clients they want doing, and you're using that to build a program, assets, marketing, documentation, languaging to where they're like, all right, this is everything I've ever wanted. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly right. Like, and one thing we discovered in our market, and good luck if you want to try and use this against it, we're going to lock you out. But anyways, like one thing I learned that I didn't really know, and I've been doing this for 3 years for this same company, is I'm talking to these docs, and the most successful docs aren't even like running this stuff themselves. And actually that's what everybody wants. They want to add this to their business and not even touch it. Whereas like our conversation was how the doctor could get more business and how you can treat more people and stuff like that. But now our language is like, no, so we can get this going and automated for you. So an hourly employee can run it for you, and you can be pulling $70K a month like Dr. Dalton is. And we have like these interviews where he's talking about, I'm making $70K a month. I don't even touch it. I got another one. I'm making 50, 60K a month. I don't even touch it. So that's like the new, not necessarily dream that we're selling, but we know that's the dream they want. And we're giving them programs and services to achieve that.
When I was at Dental Con, the best booth had 5 or 6 teeth whitening machines. And the dentists could spend, I think it was like $50 for a 20-minute session, sit down in the chair, they'd put the thing in their mouth, it would glow, and the dentists were like taking pictures showing everybody. They had a line across like 5 or 6 different booths. Jerry Wallach goes up to the guy and says, hey man, so like what's going on here? He's like, we sell these machines and we install them in dentist's office. And now the dentist has a very easy way of making $50 every 20 minutes while people are waiting. And then Jerry goes up to me and says, this dude is selling free money. Install the machine, self-service, no employees. It just works. And you know what? When your office is packed, you're going to make more money. It's literally, you will make more money without doing any extra work. They got a client at the event that has 60 locations.
Oh my
signed
gosh.
On the dot at the event, said, I want 5 at all of my offices. That dentist is not buying more patients. He's buying more money. And it sounds like that's what you're selling, or at least what that customer research helped you figure out. It sounds like your dream clients are not doctors that want more patients. They are doctors that want more low maintenance recurring income that could be delivered by your program and run by an hourly employee.
Exactly right. Yeah. And we were selling it all wrong. Let's get you a million freaking people in the door. And it's like, that ain't what you want. Like, so it's like, and then we shifted that. No joke. When I say I got 38 sales calls this week, like I'm not exaggerating. My calendar is freaking booked. Like I'm not, like it is insane. Like hopefully I don't get it too close. Y'all can see these names.
I can't see anything, but I can see you scrolling.
But like, man, I shifted the dialogue. Like I said, we're not competing with anybody anymore. It's a new opportunity. And it's, like I said, how do I get in? You know, am I too late? How long is it going to take to get going? Like, I'm just like,
just cost money. What do you say right now?
My first close this morning, $6,000, 10-minute call. Call. Let me just reemphasize, call. Never talked to this person before. Don't show them anything on Zoom. We don't even have a website. It's a Words. I sold them with Words. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm sure you've seen this. Da, da, da. Yeah. They're like, yeah, they said they like it. I just want to know how much and how to get started. I was like, okay, let me tell you about it real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah. Send me an invoice. I was like, cool, let's do it. And then he texted me back like 5 minutes later. He's like, hey, I'm really trying to get this paid. Like it declined. He's like, I promise I got money. He's like, my bank card is just got a limit each day. He's like, can you bill me half now and half on another card? I was like, done. Here you go. Paid like 5 minutes later. So insane.
I guess if your sales process and your client relationship, if they are hard, it's because we haven't done the research to figure out what's easy. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like that's how you started. And honestly, that's what we've been talking about since day one. But for everybody watching this, you got to get hit. I get it. You won't listen to me until after. Fine. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But like you started off with doing customer research, in this case, like client research, same stuff, asking those questions, figuring out some pain points, using that to build marketing and communication and assets. And all of a sudden they're like, these are my pain points. These are my solutions. I'm 80% in, then they get them on the phone. But the key point was finding that power partner. Is that right? Or can we go back to that? Like, what was that conversation like? Because you did the interviews, you had the assets. How do you find your Godzilla or your power partner?
Yeah. So like I said, if you do enough research, you can create a program that you know people want. And we actually pre-sold this thing like to 2 people, and then we created the transformation too. So yeah, I guess let me at least include that part. After I did the interviews, create a new program, I went to some of my OG docs that I know will buy anything, and not just to sell them anything, but like they trust me. So they bought it, and I took a guy from $15K a month. Like he's a medical doctor, and he's talking about closing his practice and going to work for somebody because like he's barely scraping by. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's disgusting. Mm-hmm. But within 50 days of joining our program, he had $75K collected within 30-day period, and he's on pace to break $100K this month. And that, to be honest, you know, I put my whole team on that. Like I said, for those that don't know, let me reemphasize, like when I say I lost 90% of clients, we lost 90% of clients, half by choice, half due to competition, just so we could hone in on this new thing. And like, you know, it got to the point where we didn't enjoy what we did anymore. Like it was stressful to wake up and be competing and clients yelling at us. So like I said, we kind of buckled down and said, F this, how do we create a fun work environment again? Like my team's everything. I want to make sure they're happy. But anyway, so we put a little more resources on, you know, helping him because he was a one-man show, and we got that result. And then I went back and was like, hey, I got this new program. It did this for the worst performing location. You know, this guy, you know, nothing works for him. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh my God. Cause I tracked everything. I got every screenshot. I'm texting him every day. And within 3 weeks, 15K months is all he's been doing. Within 3 weeks, he had his first 15K day. And I was like, hold up, what? Like, just to clarify, is this accurate? Yes, I collected 15K today. Next day, 10K. I'm like, what in the is going on? Like, are you serious? Like, and I called him, like, are you? And I recorded those conversations too. I'm like, yo, like, is this right? Like, that didn't make sense. You're going 15K months. You did 25K in 2 days. Yeah. Next week, 20K. Next week, 15K. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, so, and then I showed that when you go back with that type of leverage, people want to know what the secret sauce is. Like, you know.
So you did the client research, went to a client that you knew or somebody that you know, tested your process, your program, your mechanism, your unique transformation, then went back to the originalist, was like, here's what's happening. Let's talk. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well done, dude.
Made a bet with him too. And that's another thing. Like you guys know my style. I'm like a put my money where my mouth is type of person. And I went back and, you know, they kind of challenged me. It's like, oh, because we had other people, like another guy that was already doing well, we put through this. And it's like anybody can say, oh, we got him to 100K a month. And it's like, they were doing 93K a month. Like that shit ain't cool. Like good for you. But we went back and I was like, she's like, we'll do this with somebody that, is not performing well. I was like, all right, bet. I was like, when I do, you're going to tell everybody else about it? Yes. Hold my word, And then what happened? She held her word. She made a Facebook post this week, and it'll probably net us $200,000 in the next week to week and a half off of one Facebook post, a horribly written Facebook post, I might add, not formatted correctly. And I was just like,
just 2 big paragraphs, all this text.
Oh, long, one long, ginormous Bible of a paragraph. And I'm like, people ain't going to read that. I was so mad when she did it too, because I was like, oh my God, what are you thinking? One, she did it on a weekend. We know historically for our clients, they're not on Facebook on the weekend. And then it was I was so mad. And then my phone just started dinging and dinging and dinging. It's crazy. It's still dinging. It's nuts.
So let me ask you this. What is it a big reason why your first beta trial or client relationship was successful? And the reason why I'm asking, because a lot of people they'll do their first beta client. They're like, oh, it didn't work. I don't know why. And then they just kind of lose it all. Right. Since this is your 3rd or 4th version, was there something about this beta client, this program, this package that guaranteed success? There's no way it's going to fail. What did you do to make sure that this darn thing worked? Did you give them a script? What happened?
Yeah, well, yeah. So first off, we came up with this on a meeting. We drew this out on a whiteboard. It sounded crazy. We didn't have scripts or anything like that. I pitched him the idea just to see what he thought of the idea, and he's like, "I'm interested. How do I sign up?" And I was like, "Oh shit, guys! He wants to do it. Let me call him, close them." And then I'm like, "Hey, all excited! Hey, we did it." It was now what? We just this was theory. Let's put this thing together. But same thing that happened when I was sleeping on that couch. When I got a client and it wasn't an option to drop them, it wasn't an option for it to not work. That's the same situation I was in again. It was like I said, I told you, there was a time frame where I was comfortable paying my whole team's salary out of pocket. And then, I said, it was a couple months ago. It was all right, team, this is it. Last hoorah. This has to work for him. Otherwise we're dead in the water. And we made sure, like I said, the communication needs to be there. And when you want it that bad, I don't care who it is, I'm not going to let them fail. If that's my only shot at our success. And we made sure, I'm calling him every day. I'm texting him every day. I'm treating him like he's my only client, because he kind of almost was. And we made sure that he was successful. And every problem or obstacle that came up, just like how I built the first system that is the standard system in digital marketing for my industry now. Yep. Same thing. It's oh, you're having that problem? Okay, let's fix that so you don't want your money back. Let's fix that so it works. And we fixed it. And then it's oh, you need a script for that. Yeah, you don't know what to say? Oh, here's a script. We're making everything on the fly. And then it's now we got all these resources and assets and every freaking question that you can come up with. Yep. When I start sharing these sales calls, you guys are going to see, I'm getting through these sales calls and it's you understand it? Cool. Do you have any questions? No. How do I sign up? That sounds amazing. It's I've heard everything already. I know exactly what you need. I know exactly what you're going to go through. I'm going to tell you your bottlenecks before you know. I know your numbers better than you. And I tell them that. It's I know your numbers better than you. I know that you can handle 12 to 15 signups, if you're working a 40-hour week. And then they're just oh my God. And then by the end of the call, they're asking, well, how do we do this? Can you give me some advice on this? And it's like I said, that power dynamic, different story now.
What I found really interesting is on my sales calls with dentists, because I've just simply Googled, researched, and talked to dentists, right? That's all I'm doing. I'm not a dentist. I have 0 dental skills. I have no tools. Yeah. All I'm doing is researching, Googling, YouTubing, and talking to them.
Yeah.
I'm talking to dentists that are making, I don't know, let's just say $1 million a month. And I'm writing down what they're doing, having a conversation, asking clarifying questions, just like with you. And then when I'm on the phone with another dentist, they're like, how do you know all that stuff? I'm like, I just fucking asked that guy, right? That's what's happening with you, right?
Oh, that's exactly what's happening. I'm talking about, you're going to have, they're asking me now, how long should I even be putting somebody on lights? I'm like, 20 minutes, you're going to get all the benefits for the fat loss. But if you want the extra serotonin increase and the increased skin tightening, keep them on for an extra 5 minutes. Now, if you're doing pain, do not go past 20 minutes, because you're going to start to have an apoptosis of the cells. Yep. And they're like, oh my God, I sound like a doctor on this thing. And they're like, or apoptosis of the cells. And they're just like, oh my God. And it's look, we're going to teach you how to do the perfect consult. And it's oh, we're already good at closing. By the end of it, they're like, okay, what do you recommend doing? Should we do it that way? And it's like I said, these conversations are different because I've done my research. Like I said, we had to, and it always starts out like some of the tougher ones. They start out, we're the shit. We're already doing, like the last call right before I hopped on with you. Like the reason I was a little late. He's like, look, man, he's like, we're already doing 50, 60K a month. He's like, if I give you $7,500 and you give me 15, that's doesn't excite me. It's like, little money don't excite me either. I don't want your little $7,500 if I only make you 15. I was like, I'm gonna add an extra 10 grand to your bottom line. Easy. I was like, honestly, you're probably gonna be having a conversation with me here in 2 weeks about getting another system. And that's what I want, because that makes me look good. It's like, You're not doing that. That means you're not following my system. I was like, I'm gonna be on your ass more than you're on mine. And like I said, it just like that. And they're like, so it's like,
so I love that culture or sense or power check that it was giving you. What you're doing is not good enough. It doesn't excite me. You're like, I agree with you because your numbers are not big enough. Right. My plan is not to have you here because that's not exciting for anybody. You're not thinking big enough. I'm thinking up here. And he's like, oh, okay, you win. And all of a sudden he's asking you for permission and you for help. And it's just a function of good old fashioned client research, finding the thing. And in the case of the Wallet Out campaign, it's the ad, but that's just the mechanism, right? That's the transformation, the thing that gets someone who identifies with that customer research to do a thing and take a next step. And it sounds like with your first beta client, all you were doing was solving the next problem, right?
Exactly. Yep. To the point where the next problem is, Jeff, I don't have time on my schedule. Awesome. We can get you another device. Let's get it. And we can help you train this new person. And like I said, we just got this ecosystem. It's great. Like yesterday I had a sales call. This doc, I'm actually gonna go out and visit him just because the stuff he's got going on in his clinic is just next level. But he calls me, and to be honest, he had like the best YouTube channel I've ever seen. Like he's got it going on. He's like, Jeff, we're already doing a lot of these things. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, how many machines do you got? You're doing 21K. You did 21K this month. I was like, I got people with one device doing that. So you're not doing the things that we're doing. He's like, no, I got a guy's doing this. I was like, okay, so is it just not getting done? Because like when I do this program, you're going to be making 50K with your devices, and everybody else with 2 devices is making 50K. I'm doing this. No, you're not. Like you're not doing this because you would be doing more money. And then I was checking on the numbers. I was like, okay, your math doesn't add up. So if you're selling this many people, you're enrolling this many people, that those numbers don't make sense. So something's inaccurate here. And he's just like, damn. I'm like, look, you don't have to sign up. I don't need your money. But like, if you really want this to work, and like you say, you're doing those things, if you need me to enforce that, then I will, and I'll make sure you get to that point. But it's not happening right now. And he was just like, damn.
And it's not like you're in the office. You don't have 15 years of experience. You just flat out had more conversations about that than he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And that's in the consulting space. It's simply called knowledge transfer, which is I got information from one client and I'm going to transfer it to you. And all of a sudden that's like it's like direct response marketing and knowledge transfer, like the top 2 skills. Maybe you could argue like creating demand on demand. Like those are the top 3. But it sounds like your program has been a massive success simply because you talked to your dream clients, built a program and a whiteboard, probably that looks kind of like this, right? With all the big boxes, and said, hey, we're thinking about introducing this. What do you say? And somebody said, sure, let's go. That was your first beta client. You solved the next problem, wrote stuff down, and you didn't have everything mapped out, right? Like they would be like, oh, we have this problem. Like, well, let me just write out a script. And it's like just basic qualification questions, right?
Yep, exactly.
And then he got success. You went back to your original list, like we've got proof. You said you come on board. Let's go. You took a higher power frame. They said, you're obviously the expert because you Google more than me, right?
Essentially. Yeah.
And now you're doing $200,000 in a week.
Yeah. Well, get 2 weeks. Let's not stretch it.
$100,000 a week.
Yes.
38K with a brand new program and couched 100K all over again.
Right. Yeah. Pretty
That's
much.
so cool. So do you find that like going through this iteration of this third version, like this is the right process to go through when launching a done for you or done with you program? Is that right?
Yeah. And like you said, like, it's like you can preach this all, and this has happened like multiple different things in my life. And it's just like you have to go through some shit. Like people can say it all day long, Jeff, you've been through. And it's like, I had wild success, like probably bigger than most, if not all people in this group. And so like when you're there, it's like, you're like, nah, nothing can happen. All this is like, I did this and we're good. But no, it's like, man, there's still that stuff you're going to run into. Just at whatever point that is. And it's like, then you start to see it. I mean, Russell Brunson been preaching the same stuff in a book, and it's like, I can read Expert Secrets today and I'm going to interpret it way differently. And I'm like, oh my God, if I'd have just freaking listened, he's absolutely right. And that's the same thing. It's like, you try to reinvent the wheel, you try to add your spin. It's like, it'll work for a second, but ultimately it's going to put you right back to square one.
Yep.
And, when you know the fundamentals, that's why we were able to buckle down. That's why we could let it get scary for a second. And now we're back to, we're going to do crazy numbers.
I really put you, Nick Corum, Ravi, and Joel Kaplan in like a category up here. Like, you guys go back to the fundamentals. Business requires adjustments. Nothing is concrete. Everything is temporary. And you got to pay rent every single day. And whether that's with blood, sweat, or tears, whether that's with money or time or effort, every single day you got to show up. And that's what makes a great business owner. Not a good agency owner. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like good business owner, right? Stuff changes, client demands changes, competitors enter your space, and it's your job simply to serve people better than the next guy. And it sounds like you've identified that customer research, unique transformation, solving the next step process, which you've been talking about forever, but that's part of growth, which is like having a couple ages, a couple experiences, growing and looking back and interpreting differently. Let me ask you this. Let's just say it's like a year or 2 or 3 from now. Do you see, like, with different eyes what this experience could be? Like, what's that next step? What are you thinking is going to go so right? What areas do you need improvement? Like, looking back, but forward at the same time, what do you got in store?
Absolutely. So first off, shout out like Joel Kaplan, Ravi, Nick Corum. Like, man, I've watched like that growth. And I know of like Joel Kaplan and his team. Like, I've met them in Vegas, and like, obviously, like, he's a very high performing individual. So I just got to shout out like his team and the systems and everything they got in place to get to that level. Like, I thought, no offense to Joel, I was like, man, we're going to be up there pretty quickly. No, like, that's a whole different ball game. Like, that man's on a whole different level, and you'll never hear me talk like that. I'm the most confident person in the world, and it's like, they can do it, I can do it. But man, I salute Joel Kaplan, the Ravis, Nick Corum for what they built. They buckled down, built that stuff. Next few years for us, like I said, we locked down this industry because I wanted to make sure that like my team, like I said, is in a position to where like, all these people I hired, you guys know, like I hired my friends, and like I took some of these people from their career jobs to come work for me, and like to be in the position where I got to let them know like, hey, like this needs to work in the next few months, or like we're going to be talking about you going somewhere else. And it's like, one, they believed in me enough to like stick it out, and I didn't want to have to let them go. So we locked down this industry as best we could, like from the manufacturer to every single distributor. I'm talking contracts, everything, to the point where we're going to hone in on this one specific device type, and we're going to do $10 million in sales with them. Like, we're actually getting like a profit share type of thing from the company this next year. But we're going to do $10 million next year through them just with device sales. And we're rolling in some crazy stuff to where we're raising the price and rolling out some stuff that we're providing. So we get a big portion of that. And then over the course of the next 3 years, maybe 4, I don't want to be too optimistic, but I want to do $100 million in sales with this company. And it only takes 2,000 customers to do that when you're selling a $50,000 device. So I don't see that as hard because our industry supports it, and we've dialed in the pain points. We got stuff that's working. We just got to build the teams that can really handle that type of growth. So we're going to hone in, focus on that, and that's going to be our core business. We've shut down. We're not doing any other niche. Like, we're just going to focus on this. Like, I want my team to love what they do. That's first and foremost. Recently I've got a girlfriend, which, things are getting kind of serious, and I've never really focused on like my personal life and ever. I've never no offense to any old girlfriends I have, but it's like business first, money first, everything else. If it works out, cool.
Yep.
But now it's like I finally found somebody like I see building a life with, and so everything we're doing in our company is to support the life that we want to live, not just, hey, how much money can we make? How many did it? No, like we want to make sure that, our clients are being helped. They're being taken care of. They feel completely supported, like nothing they've ever experienced before. We're charging enough to where we don't have to work based on volume. We work based on what we can handle comfortably and take care of our clients and have a great relationship with them. And then also to support the lifestyle that we want to live. Like, I don't want my people working like slaves. I still don't want them working on weekends. I don't want them working past 5. So just focusing on building the life that we want, and like really just, me, I've always been the type, shoot for the moon, man. I need $100 million next year. I need $1 billion in a few years. like I started like really fall in love with the process. And I've heard Nick say that, Nick Corm say that, like fall in love with the process. And it's like you hear it, but you don't feel it until you feel it. And it's like we finally fell in love with the process, and it's just like a whole different ball game. So we're just honing in our craft, making sure that we support our clients as best as possibly can be. Like I said, I want to be like I'm like I got doctors calling me bro now. Like, and it's weird, but it's like cool. We're sending gifts back and forth. Like they're sending me Drake gifts, like let's go, and stuff like that. And it's like that's the level like I want to be on. Like I want to be like on a cool first name basis with my clients. I don't want them to be just a statistic, one of our hundreds of clients. And then on top of that, we've been documenting everything because like, man, I fell off. Like I ain't gonna lie, we got comfortable, we fell off. Like people don't know that because I don't. You guys only see the good, and it's like embarrassing to go from $100,000 a month plus to go back to 4 clients. Like y'all didn't hear me talk about that at all. But I documented this entire journey just to show how we got to where we're at now and how we're doing 100K in a week. So like I said, we're focusing on honing in our craft, and we're probably going to put some stuff out there to help other agency owners survive. But that's just, again, no offense guys, like that's not on my radar at the moment. We're still trying to dial in this thing. And at a point in time, we're going to start sharing all that stuff and really helping everybody that we can do what we do. But like I said, it's lifestyle first, happiness first, and, taking care of our people.
It's really interesting because like everybody views me as like the guy that never niches, right? Mm-hmm. Like doctors, lawyers, accountants, pest control, dentists, all kind of the same. But what I've discovered is the niche that you choose is a manifestation. It's like an outward progression of your good business processes. And if it's kind of like if you're really, really good to go in the gym, you can go to any gym in the world, right? Like once you're good at working out, it doesn't matter where you go. And it sounds like for the first time in a long time, you focused on getting good at life, business, and relationships first. And then the outward progression of that is your chosen niche and dollars that come with it. Is that right?
Exactly right. Yeah. I mean, you get to a point, no matter how much money you're making, one, you don't need as much money as you think you need. And that's like one thing I realized, like, man, I don't know if you guys did the Clubhouse thing when it was hot, but man, I was on Clubhouse. Like I'm literally like, I've had personal conversations with Grant Cardone on there, Damon John, like, and I'm talking to them, not just listening to them. But Damon John said something that like fucked me up. Like it had me in tears. Like he said something on a call. He said, it's like, I'm never going to get to the end of my life and wish that I had made more money. I will absolutely get to the end of my life and wish that I spent more time with my loved ones and like focused on my family and friends. And I was just like, well, I remember like hearing that and like, it got me thinking. And it's like the last decade I've been like business to the point where like, I don't know that much about my family, like, and I do, but like, not like I would like to. And it's like, man, I started shifting the focus. It's like, guys, like we got to change shit. Like, I don't want to be running and gunning and like just trying to, scale as fast as we can. Like I want to enjoy life. Like this whole last decade went by and I don't feel like I did shit when it comes to like personal life. Like I did, I've ran up some numbers. That's awesome. But like personal life suffered. And it's like, I don't even know my family thinks I love them. Like, it's like, I haven't visited them that much. And like, that's the type of stuff that's important to me now. And it was like the biggest shift in my life. And, we just kind of built from there.
Do you think that most agency owners will have to go through this? Like I work really hard and everything breaks. And then I try again, and it kind of works. And then like, do you think like this is like the standard journey? Because it sounds like the investment banker journey of like the first year I worked really, really hard. The second year I regret it. And third year I got a separate job. Like, do you think that's just how you got to cut your teeth and earn your stripes? Or do you think there's a better way?
Man, that's a good question. It just comes down to like almost on the individual level. Like it's like some people can take what others did into consideration and actually follow and like, follow the process and do it. But I'd say most people, like the really ambitious ones, which might be all of us, because we're all wanting to be entrepreneurs. It's like, you got to take your licks before like stuff starts to make sense to you. And like, I don't know if that's what people wanted to hear, but it's like, man, I feel like I'm fucking Superman, especially when I go from couch to 100K a month. And, y'all seen the evolution. It's like, I'm pounding my chest. I'm the greatest plus, like, and like, I didn't see it coming, like getting comfortable and stuff like that. So it's like some of these things, I think it's just like a natural evolution and stuff that you're going to end up going through before you really take everything into consideration like you should. So I don't know if that was the answer you're looking for, but like that's just kind of how I feel about it.
I find it's like almost impossible for somebody like me halfway across the world to talk to somebody through a screen through like a video recording saying, hey, I want you to take it slow. I want you to do all your customer research first, and then you're going to run an ad and it's going to work. No, screw that. I'm going to do an ad today. I'm like, it's not going to work. Do your customer. And like, you have to like hit these like barriers and these walls. And I'm on the same journey too, which is like, I don't know what the fuck happened the past 5 years, but I've worked way too much and I don't remember my parents' birthdays anymore. And it's like that, you have to like hit that asymptote, that wall to go back and rechange your business and your processes and your tools. And I've made changes inside of my agency, my Done For You, Done With You, like all the fun stuff to better accommodate my now goals. But I'll tell you what, man, like if you told me that a year ago, I'd be like, you're a boatload of liar. And like, nah, man, I got to go do it. I got to go hunt and I got to go fight and I got to go. And I think that's just how people's brains work, right?
Yeah, it really is. Like you said it perfect too. Like that's another thing. Like we've really like honed in on like the actual fundamentals of marketing, like doing the customer research. Like it's like I said, it came out of like desperation and necessity. It's like you got to do those things. You've been preaching it, and it's like, yeah, like there's a lot of information out there, and chances are you could probably get a template, probably even from Jeff Miller's course, and you start running an ad, you're getting success. But what happens when you don't get success? Like what happens when that ad doesn't work? You're screwed. Like you didn't learn how to do it yourself, and that's where we got to. And it's like, you know, we built a lot of things and it worked, but like when the ad stopped performing, it's like, well, oh my God, Katie Lynn wrote this ad and we've just kind of been evolving it for the last 2 years and it finally just does not work anymore. What do we do? So shout out Katie Lynn. She used to write my ad copy. I know she's like a mega star now, but
yes.
But anyways, like, it's like, man, it's like now, like, man, I swear I'll put my copywriting up against anybody's. I'm learning from, I can't even say it right now, but like one of the greatest copywriters to ever fucking live is I've been working with. And copywriting is getting good. Like it's getting fun to like just really build the stuff from scratch and with the end goal, like envisioned how we want it and like just kind of reverse engineering it from there. Like I said, man, my ego took a shot this last like 6 months. Like things that were important to me aren't important to me. Things that weren't important to me are important to me now.
Yep.
Like you said, when you got to the point where you don't even remember your parents' birthday, same thing. Like my sister's birthday, and like I told her I'm coming back. They're like, "Oh, I believe it when I see it." Like,
you're like, damn,
God, that hurt. Like,
right?
Like, yeah. So
and now you're making more money with less time, effort, energy, better clients, and you're charging more. And the crazy part about all this is I'm doing the same exact thing. Like our client is spending $30,000 a month with us.
Hang on. First off, let me
cover the email. Okay, yeah. And how much is that?
$6,000.
Was that a 20-minute sales call earlier?
Yeah, that was about 20 minutes.
So yeah, like the reason why our $30,000 a month client works because I spend a whole lot of time, effort, energy talking to dentists that are multi-location franchises that have aggressive offers that want to grow. I literally talk to them on the phone. Hey, my name is Jeff. I'm a marketing student. I just want to ask you a couple questions about you and your business. And that crafted and created our fulfillment program, our communications, everything, right? That is unlike, like I took the ad and put it on the internet and I'm complaining it doesn't work. And this one client at $30K a month wants to start spending $80K a month. And that's $1 million a year retainer just from one guy. That's it. Done. I'd rather have that, fewer clients, huge retainers, than this like factory of $1,000 a month clients going, well, I guess we have 400 emails today.
Yeah, right.
So Jeff Lopez, always a pleasure. For everybody that's curious, if you would like a one-on-one session with Jeff Lopez, he is doing a 45-minute group Zoom call only for people who are watching this live. Hashtag Jeff Lopez, my face. And I will introduce you guys by a group chat. It's limited to 5 people. And if you want to have a one-on-one time, ask him coffee chat, whatever it is in a group call, like literally deep dive into what he's doing and how he's doing.
You guys ask anything. Y'all know I'm an open book. So yeah, but this big group setting, I'm an open book. I'm not like we're solidified in our industry. So ask away.
Very cool. So if you're interested in that group call, Jeff Lopez, my face. Again, Jeff Lopez, absolute pleasure. It's always good talking with you because like you are just understanding of like the pains, the trials, the tribulations. I never hear like fluffy marketing words. It's like, no, man, this kind of fucking sucks a little bit. And I'm gonna have to fucking figure this shit out and I'm gonna get there. And that is realistic. That is human. That is refreshing. That's what more people in this space need as opposed to the ephemeral, everything's gonna be great, amazing. And then they get hit with a real life truck. Like, oh, now I'm sad again. So well done, buddy.
Hey, can I mention my group? My new group?
Of course.
Hey, real quick. So yeah, so if you guys follow me, I'll make a post like on my timeline, or if I can make a post in here. I do got a new group called Plus Plus My Agency. Hop in there. I'm not trying to sell anything right now. I don't have time. But I have recorded all these sales calls like this week, every single one. You can hear every objection, all this stuff. I'm going to start like sprinkling that information and then showing you what we did to create a business that we love. I'm really just documenting the process right now. Eventually, we might have little mini master classes, but I'm not. We're making plenty of money like in our new ventures. I really just want to document and showcase the process for anybody that's trying to like better their lives, really like take care of their clients and build a successful business. Feel free to hop in there. I'd love to show you some of the sales calls and what we're doing.
Fantastic. Everyone, Jeff Lopez with Plus Plus Your Life,
Plus
Liberty, Pursuit of Happiness, all that. Jeff, always a pleasure. I'm going to bring it to an end. Everyone, catch you later. Bye.